Welcome to AdTalk OC, where we highlight the most interesting people right here in Orange County. I'm your host, Nicole Kasperbauer, past president of the American Advertising Federation of Orange County, or better known as AAFOC. And today we're kicking off our very first episode with someone truly special. My guest is Alejandro Gonzalez, a 14-year-old kart racer who's already making waves in the racing world. At just 14, Alejandro is showing the kind of drive, discipline, and passion that most of us only dream about. We're going to talk about what fuels his love for racing, the challenges of competing at a young age, and where he hopes this journey will take him. Alejandro, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me, Nicole.
Okay, when I think of go-karts, I think of K1 speed or something like that. But that's not what you do, right? Explain to me what karting is.
Karting is like a competitive version of that. So you got faster speeds. Everybody will give it everything they have. So like that creates like intense, like close racing moments on the track. And you go to and you get to travel around to go to different racetracks.
That's incredible. And what drives you to keep racing, to keep karting the way you are?
What drives me is I want to be able to have a living off of racing in the future. I want to hopefully go up to a higher rank like IndyCar or something like a big series with other drivers around the world, like Joseph Newgarden, Pato O'Ward, those drivers. And karting is a step to get there. And that's why I do it, and I take so much enjoyment from it because this is the path to get there.
Fantastic. And who are some of your racing heroes or role models that inspire you?
One racing hero that inspires me is Joseph Newgarden, who just recently won 2 Indy 500s. And he started karting around the same time that I did. He was 12, just like I was. And he built up his way up the ladder to get into IndyCar. And he's won 2 championships and 2 Indy 500s, which is basically the biggest race that you can win in the world. So it's just a great success story every time I hear it. And it's just what I look up to.
Incredible. Have you ever been able to see him race?
I have seen him at the Long Beach Grand Prix a few times, which is, it's a great event. And to get to see all these drivers out there, just like a karting race, but another level.
Amazing. And at 14, what does your training routine look like, both on and off the track?
When I'm off the track during the week, I exercise, I do push-ups. I drive on a simulator so I can stay in that racing mindset. I never not think about racing.
Okay, you got to tell us. What is the phrase or mindset motivation that you think about when you're in the car on the track racing?
When I'm driving, it's like one at a time. Like when I'm driving, it's like I always look at whichever cart is in front of me, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get that guy. I'm gonna pass him, and nothing's gonna stop me. Even if I'm leading, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna catch the person in last place. I'm gonna lock him, and it's like it's just always one step ahead. And then after I pass someone, it's like, okay, that guy right there, he's the next target. So it's just always looking forward. It's like, don't look back. Don't think about what's behind you. It's just forward momentum. That's just all it is.
I know what K1 speed is. I'm assuming most people do. I've been to Boomers. I've done my own family fun experience. But tell us, what is the difference between a K1 speed and professional karting?
When I'm driving a car at K1 speed, it may be going 15 miles an hour, maybe. I don't know to be exact. But when I'm driving a professional kart, it's about 70 miles an hour by the end of the straightaway. And you're cornering at 40 miles an hour, sometimes 30 miles an hour. Braking for a corner in K1 speed, it's just so slow that you don't need the brakes most of the time. You can just hold it wide open on the power and it's you're fine. In a kart, you're going so fast and their corners are so tight that you need to use the brakes. And it's a whole nother level of technique that you just don't get at a K1 speed. And it's that's what can separate the good from great drivers. And that's you with that speed of the professional karts, that's why braking makes such a big difference.
And how do you balance school, racing, and just being a teenager?
I get the homework done right away. I have my rule for myself is get all the work done by the end of Friday. So that way on Saturday, Sunday, with the race days, I don't have to worry about anything else. It's the whole focus is just on that race weekend. And it's just I just gotta keep track of what homework and things for school that I have to do.
And how often are you racing? Are you getting out there every weekend? Do you have weekends off? What does that look like?
I'm out at the track almost every weekend. I have like one race a month, but then the other weekends are gonna be just practicing, just doing laps with the team, putting time on the track.
And where's the team located and where have you all gotten to travel?
So the team will come out to the track with me. So like they'll have we'll have like a little tent set up and with mechanics, and then they bring the car. My first time getting to travel was a few weekends ago, going up to Sonoma in Northern California. So right by the NASCAR racetrack, it's a kart track connected to it. So it was a really good experience.
And tell us about the first time traveling. Like what kind of, only imagine that it's a different experience. Your levels of anticipation and excitement are through the roof. What were you experiencing that you hadn't felt at that point in your racing career yet?
It really set in to me, like traveling. Like as soon as I sat down to the plane, it's like this is what like the big F1 drivers do every weekend, like getting like just traveling around the world, and it's like a sneak peek into like what I can be doing like in the future. It's cool to be like walking around with like your helmet bag and like all your stuff, like just walking around the airport, and it's like a different feeling than like traveling for like a vacation, because it's like this is with a purpose, and it's like and it's all thinking about like the race. Even on the plane, I'm like I was just going through in my head how I'm gonna like drive, just doing laps in my head. So like it's very focused towards that race.
Incredible. What has been the toughest race or obstacle you faced so far?
But that's a tough question. I think the toughest obstacle was earlier this year. I had a drought of 3 races in a row that I did not finish, and just trying to get out of that. Like, so it's just frustrating to spend all your just spending the whole month preparing for that one moment, and then for it all to just like disappear that quickly. So like just having it happen 3 times in a row is like it means you don't really not finish a race. Like when you go, you're going with the purpose, and you're gonna try to like you're gonna get all the laps in. Having to like drop out of the race from like getting into an accident or having like something break on the car is like it's just so disappointing, because it's like all this just went to nothing. So it's like it really sets in. So having 3 races in a row that happening, it was really difficult to overcome. And then 4th race after that, just got around it. I'm like, okay, what? I'm going into that weekend. I told myself, like, it's like, I'm tired of this. Like, I'm just, no matter what, just like, no matter what happens, it's just nothing's gonna stop me from like finishing and getting a good result. And I was fighting for a podium that race, and I was able to finish 5th, which was a really good finish for me. It was matching my best finish in that class.
And how has your family supported your racing career, and what role do they play on race day to help you overcome these challenges?
My family has been really supportive racing. My mom and my brother, sometimes they'll come out to the track to watch a race, and other times if they can't, they'll be watching the timings like on an app, or just to see my live position during the race, or watching on TV like the broadcast of the race. And my dad comes out every single weekend. Every time I'm on the track, he's there. He's always on the fence watching, and it's just a great feeling to know like I'm not alone. I'm being backed, but my whole family is there with me at the track. It's like I wouldn't be able to do without him.
Okay, so to make this all possible, tell us who's sponsoring you in your karting experience.
Well, I've got 2 sponsors. My main sponsor, the ID1 Communications, they pay for basically everything for the racing there every weekend. And my second sponsor is Frame, which is racing apparel, which pays for like the suit, the shoes, gloves, that kind of stuff.
Racing requires focus and composure. How do you prepare mentally before a race?
So before a race, there's always 20 minutes where you're just like the cart is just sitting there waiting on what we call the grid, which is basically they wait before they send you out onto the track. It's just 20 minutes of just waiting there while the next race finishes up. And when I'm just sitting in the cart, I just put on my helmet, close the visor, and I just think like it doesn't help some people, but like it really helps me, because the nerves are like really high. My heart is like going crazy. So it's like I just try to fall asleep. I don't actually fall asleep, but it just calms me down enough. And it's like enough of an advantage that as soon as the race starts, everybody's like on the edge, like, oh, what do I do? And I'm like, okay, play it cool, and it just helps so much on the starts.
What's the atmosphere like among other young racers like yourself? Is it more competitive, or do you feel like you get a lot of support from other racers?
Just on the track is like very competitive. Like they don't care who it is. It's like I'm passing it. Off the track, it's very supportive. Like if anything happens, you go over, you congratulate each other. It's like it's like a big family of racers. Like you're gonna talk to people. Like you're not, if something happens, you're gonna like make sure like, oh man, are you okay? Like it's one big family of kart racers.
All cheering each other on. That's incredible. Okay, what would you say to other young people in Orange County who have big dreams but might be afraid to go after them?
I think you never know until you try it, and that's how I got into racing. Like it seems scary always, but like once you've done it, then it's gonna be like, oh, it's not that bad. And I've been able to do that like with everything in my life. Like even with high school, I applied for a higher level in a film class, and it's like I was freaked out at first, but then as soon as we get in there, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. So I think always, like with anything, it's gonna be like that. Like you never know until you try it, and even if it doesn't work out, now you know. If you don't try it, then you're gonna regret it, and so just put it all out there.
I love how you have applied the same passion and drive not only into your career with racing, but also into your education, because that clearly is important to you. And what an incredible conversation we've had here today, Alejandro. At just 14 years old, you're already showing the dedication, courage, and passion it takes to chase big dreams. And I think we can all take a little inspiration from that. Alejandro, thank you for joining me today and sharing your story with us. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this very first episode of AdTalk OC. We're just getting started, and we'll continue to bring you stories from the most interesting people right here in Orange County, California. The AAFOC has a lot of events coming up, and we will talk about them in future episodes. If you want to find out more about AAFOC, please visit our website and follow us on social media. If you want to be our next guest, shoot us an email and let's talk about how we can feature you in our next episode. And make sure to sign up for our second annual pickleball tournament on Eventbrite. Until next time, I'm Nicole, and this is AdTalk OC.